Hello everybody, welcome back. I am Faisal. In this video, I am going to teach you about functions in PHP. Let's create a new file and save this file as functions.php. Inside this file, we will create functions. Okay, so what are functions? Function is a set of code or block of code that we once defined and that can be placed in any file, and you can call that function anywhere in the file or in some other files. Now, what does this mean? Let's create a function, write the keyword function and then space and then the name of the function you want to create. Suppose I want to create a function that is called add and then small brackets and then curly brackets. Open this block of curly brackets. Some people like this way and some people used to like this way. Okay, so let's echo out something inside this function. Suppose I want to echo out hello world. Now open this file in the browser, functions.php, and you will see nothing will be echoed out, but we have actually echoed out hello world or print out hello world. So now why is it not printing out? Because we just defined a function. This is called function defining. We just defined a function that is called add, but in order to work, in order to run this line of code or this block of code, you need to call this function somewhere. Let's call it right under here on line number 13. You just need to write the function name and then small brackets. That's it. Now when you refresh the page, the hello world will be echoed out. So this means function will never work until you call that function. So when I call this function through its name, the code inside this curly brackets will always run or execute. Now what if I want to call this function somewhere out of this file? Let's create a new file, comment this out. Let's create a new file and save this file as function underscore call.php. And let's call the function that is called add. Now when I open this file that is called function underscore call and hit enter, you will see it is giving an error that you are calling an undefined function on line number 4. So PHP cannot recognize where this function is actually defined, but we actually defined this function inside this functions.php file and we are calling it inside some other file. So we just need to link both of these files somehow. So let's include this file inside this function underscore call.php. You need to just write include and then small brackets, and inside these brackets you just need to write the functions.php file that you want to include in here. Now this line will have a complete file, that complete functions.php file, and all the things that we have defined inside this file are now included inside this file, and now we can use this function and call it here. When I refresh the page, you will see hello world will be printed out. Okay, so that's how functions work. Suppose it can be a very good example if you suppose you create a form, a complete form here, form, and then some input type that will be text and anything else, name, and you want to, this is called form, and you want to print out this form anywhere in the file or any multiple files. Suppose we have 5 files and you want to use this form inside 5 files. You just need to write the form function here and the form will be created magically. So form functions can be very beneficial. I will tell you more examples in later videos, but for understanding, this is the example that you want to remember. Okay, so undo all of these. So this is called a function or simple function. There is another type of function that is called parameterized function, where you pass the values inside these small brackets. Okay, let's rename or create a new function that is called function addition, and inside this function let's catch two parameters, $a and $b, and then create a variable that will be add both of the values of $a and $b, and at the end it will return or echo the value, the answer of their summation, of their addition. So now we need to call this function somewhere. Let's call it right underneath here, call it, and now remember we have two parameters to catch. we need to define $A and $B values right here. Let's define 2 plus 3. Now we have a function call, and we are passing two values to these two variables. $A will have the value of 2, $B will have value of 3. Let's cut it from here and paste it right here. Now when I refresh the page, you will see 5 will be echoed. Why is it printing out 5? Because I call this function and pass these two values to these two variables, and inside this function we are actually adding both of these values and then echoing out the answer. So the value of $A is 2 and B is 3, and inside this function we are adding out 2 plus 3, and then answer is this one. You can write anything and it will add both of these values and give the answer. So that is how the functions can be beneficial for any type of calculation, or anywhere you want to create your function logically, and you can use that function anywhere in the file or any other file. You just need to write this include command, include line, and you can call the function anywhere you want to. So these are the functions in PHP, and I will tell you the more professional way of using functions in later videos, but for basics and for concept, you just need to remember the logic behind functions and why we create functions and what are the benefits of creating functions. And when you create a function, you just need to write its name to call it somewhere where you want to execute that function. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I will tell you about email sending. See you in the next video. Goodbye.